Sometimes I forget how to drop my vigilant tendencies when they don't need to be there. The more familiar I become with love, the more spaciousness and ease I find myself instantaneously recognizing, creating, and emanating from deep within my being. In those moments when I struggle to let go, I find myself asked from a certain bubbling in the well of my heart to do that very thing, to let go of the obsessive clinging to that which I can't control. I know this happens to the best of us. Fear takes over sometimes. The sensitized and painful nerve endings of the bodies of our hearkening pasts will shamelessly color what we think we know to be real and true in the present moment. And sometimes in those moments, what we perceive out of habit to be true is not actually always true. This is where rest and discernment become so valuable. When we peer into space beyond the opaque veil of what is unconditionally true versus what is merely a tinted lens through which we are incidentally peering into the world, we might just find that it is safe to remove the tinted lenses, because what's beyond them is even more beautiful than what can be grasped visually through a colored piece of glass. The bountiful beauty of whatever we are truly abiding in will dawn inside of us and outside of us, and when this phenomena rolls up to greet us in the same way a gently lapping ocean wave which lines a coastal shore might greet our toes, we can then relax into a sweet, familiar, and deep recognition of grace. It's all here. Recognizing the truth of what's alive in the present moment is a healing balm. Taking responsibility for oneself is a mending salve, and seeing reality as it is, free from our attachments, is like drinking an elixir of vital life force. Something happens. Then the unfoldment of that something will remain a mystery for however long it wants to remain a mystery for. We can stay irrevocably haunted by the mystery, or we can revel in the truth of its absurdly haunting nature, giving total permission to it to consume our sense of safety and self and all we think we know, just like it will keep on trying to do whether we pretend to have control over it or not, whether we pretend to think we can give permission to it to do what it's going to do naturally or not. No matter how uncomfortable it may be to face the occasional terrors of reality, the after effects of letting our attachments fall prey to its unbound hunger taking its course is akin to rainbow revelations after hearkening storms. If our souls and bodies and minds are gateways, and if we really allow them to be gateways, then we will inevitably find, time and time again, that hard things will eventually drop to the ground and become perceived threats to our senses of self no longer. We must uphold the roots of proper attitudes in order to let hardness pass through us. Courage, faith, trust, and surrender are all useful attitudes that can serve the adaptation to moments when hardness takes over. The passing through of hard things will provide poles of kindness and compassion for every experience, which will point us directly towards immaculate truth. We will discover what is meant to be revealed to us through means of the passage of time, and we can do it sustainably, happily, and joyfully with the proper attitudes. Every display in this universe to me is like a little wisdom gift. I know I cannot force change or growth or insight or revelation. I have learned that I can only simply sit with whatever information I have gathered thus far, and then hold space with a clear and open heart and mind as I watch for the unfoldment of whatever is meant to happen. It's an attitude that demands intentional, devoted cultivation in this day and age. Once I tasted heaven, I decided to stay here for it. It's not always easy per se, but it's so possible, and it does ease up with time, and I want to remind the world of this possibility through my example. It can be especially challenging to simply relax and enjoy the present moment when our attachments ripen and become ready to fall away from our bodies at any given moment. When the attachments are soft, still clinging onto the fruit-bearing tree branches of our lives by their few meek cellulose-woven threads, we can assume that they are soon to either fall to the feet of a malnourished passerby or to touch the earth and become initiated into the rotting and sinking into and becoming one with process of melting into the ground and growing in the darkness of an earthen void into a new tree. And next time, that tree will have even more fruits to bear and then let die again to the flames of cyclic existence and rot and hungry animals. And this process will keep repeating for as long as the fertile earth remains holding space for the process. When the things we hold to be most important to us are drawn from out of our periphery and cast into the black of the unseen, suddenly, all we are left to see and engage with is the simple emptiness of the present moment. Whatever does lie before us, here and now. In this space, there is an invitation. I can hear it. I can feel it. It's simple and magnetic. Where does it call me? What does it look like? What does it sound like?